If you take a look at the metropolitan area of Oklahoma City, and if you think about, we only have two north, south, east, west intersections in a town of, in a community of about 1.1 million people. And over the next 20, 25 years, all estimates point that that's going to grow to about 1.6 million people, about a 40% increase. And if you think about the traffic volumes that we have at the two major intersections, I-35 and I-40, and I-44 and I-40, and really those are the only two north, south, east, west intersections we have in the metro area, we're seeing high volume traffic in those areas today. So much so that on I-35, if you're coming from Norman, it's really only about a 20-minute drive normally, but it turns into about a 45-minute drive in the morning drive and the evening drive, and if somebody has a flat tire on the side of the road, then all of a sudden that's an hour and 15-minute drive. You couple that with the fact that we're going to show huge increases in volumes of traffic as population level grows over the next 20 years. We have to figure out some way to have a reliever route for I-35. I-35 going south from I-40, we started expanding that in 1979 whenever it was 60,000 people a day. Now there's 140,000 on the south leg of that interchange at I-35 and I-40. So we can't expand I-35 anymore. If you drive that south, going south from I-40, you can see the businesses are all right up against the frontage roads, and we would wipe out half the business district south side of Oklahoma City if we tried to expand it. Somehow you have to have a reliever route, and this is part of that on this east side of Oklahoma City. And let me tell you why there's been so much concern out here, is because we've really messed up. Turnpike Authority and myself really messed up as to how this was, the information was distributed to the people in eastern Oklahoma County. And they have every right to be upset with us. What we're going to try to do tonight is to kind of calm their concerns, get information from them, apologize to them for the how we got to this point, and from here on out, try and make sure that we have good communication with the people out here and the Turnpike Authority, so that we share information, so that it's the unknowns that concern people. And we've certainly had not done a very good job to this point. That ends tonight. Tonight, from moving forward, we're going to be much better citizens to the people that we work for, and that's to provide them with information and share information. As far as how many people will be affected by a north-south corridor that ties I-40 to I-44, we can't tell you that, and that's part of the information gathering that we will hopefully start tonight, where we know where the subdivisions are, where the churches are, the schools, the playgrounds, the parks, where cemeteries are at, where historic properties are at that we need to avoid. So all of those things, we need to gather that information. And but again, we're turning this around tonight. Well, certainly it'll provide great access. If you think about it, from I-35 east, I-35 we think goes through the heart of Oklahoma City, but there are no north-south roads east of I-35, and we have several east-west roads. You have I-40, you have I-240, you have US 62, you have I-44 on the north on the Turner Turnpike. Somehow you have to connect those in order to provide that mobility for the people of the area, and it also will take some relief off of I-35 as well. We set up a bunch of targets for aerial survey, so that we could get an aerial map of the area, so that we could pick out all of those things we talked about: schools, churches, subdivisions, and the like. But we set out a bunch of targets, and we didn't talk to anybody before we did it. And that created grave concerns for the folks out here. It would have me. And so, again, it's our fault. We're to blame. And again, the people have every right to be upset with us. Hopefully we can turn that around tonight and get people working with us to give us the information that we need. But if you think about it, when we were developing the corridor for the Crosstown Expressway, there were a lot of concerns for people. When we developed the corridor for the Kilpatrick Expressway, we had similar people concerned about what we were doing. But I think when it's all said and done, people use it. It is used as its intended purpose for a major corridor for access for people. And I think once that happens, then I think that things will settle down. But between now and then, there will be some confusion with the people that it'll affect. There's no doubt about that.
If you'll please, let's try and start over as best we can from here moving forward and see if we can't come to some resolve on some of the issues. We need to answer your questions. But quite frankly, we don't have all the answers tonight. But what we need to do is to hear from you the problems that you have. So we're going to need your help. And that's really a tough sell from somebody like me to stand up here in front of 700 people and say, I apologize because I screwed up, and oh, by the way, I need your help. But that's where I'm at. And we really do need it, and I know we'll get it. So if you don't mind, I'll turn it over to David, and then we'll have opportunities to ask questions. Thank you.